Welcome into Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. We're discussing JP's corner glow up.
That needs to happen.
Yeah,
well, that hasn't happened
we're
yet.
gonna. We kept telling you we're not gonna mom you, but we are gonna help. We like to decorate.
Well, first of all, I'm still in a cave over here in my camera. I mean, it doesn't look
shoot.
It doesn't look bad,
Yeah,
but
I'm supposed to order lights.
the
too.
lights above me are off. But I think I got this Allison's chocolates still sitting over here.
Nice.
To say congrats.
It's not.
Well.
It's just not really working. Although the corner with the chairs is looking better.
It
Yes.
does look better.
Yeah, it's looking better.
Well, happy Monday, everybody, and I hope you don't have to go get on a plane.
Yeah.
So,
But wait, the shutdown might be over. Do you think it's like
It's
open
over.
again?
Shazam! What do you think?
I think relatively quickly. Maybe not today, but I think stuff will go back to normal pretty quickly. They have to.
Listen, we'll talk about it later. At least I hope y'all want to talk about it later. I'm putting it out there in the ether so we can talk about it later. I was yesterday years old when I realized it went far beyond just we're the Democrats and we want leverage. That they said the quiet part out loud, like how I used your former phrase.
Yeah.
It's a really good phrase.
Maybe we should put it in a tagline.
I think we should.
We were talking about that.
Yeah.
I think we should. If you
Because we're
invented
based,
it,
right?
We're based, yeah.
thanks, friends.
We're
They know I
bussin'.
love that phrase.
Bussin' is
No
Gen Alpha.
cap.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Anyway, we got to talk about one of the real reasons for the shutdown. And I was yesterday years old when I learned the other real reason for the shutdown, not just because the Democrats who said out loud, we want to use this as leverage. There was a whole nother side to it that, did y'all all know this? I'm not answering right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm on the edge of my seat. This is good radio, Abs.
Well, I'm doing my best, Allison. And the reason I'm doing my best is because you and I were just in a golf cart and we caught air. So I'm thinking clearly now after air and a cup of coffee. We should tell everybody what we did.
We had places to be and things to do.
What did
And
we do?
had to get there fast.
I was in the golf cart behind y'all. And I didn't even see y'all catch air. But apparently you did.
So I'm texting with our son, and I'm also just hanging up with the progressive lady.
She's doing insurance work.
And I'm doing the mom things because it's always something. And I'm on the bloop, bloop, bloop texting. And then all of a sudden we're like, whoa. And I'm like, am I driving?
I think I almost threw her out.
You did. I almost like lurched to the right and fell into hole number 3. I don't know what order.
It was
12.
You about tumbled out on 8.
Yeah.
So we sponsored Jared Hudson, who has Covenant Rescue Group. They had their golf tournament in the 20-degree, 25-mile-an-hour
It was balmy
wind tunnel today.
delightful.
Perfect day for golf.
Perfect day for golf, but we had a hole and we were setting up all of our Rightside radio stuff on the hole, and I guess I was just really cold. But the worst part, I don't know if your golf cart was like this. But you ever get in a golf cart that it's like,
Oh yeah. I drove
I
that cart back, and yes, it did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's
he
like-
was apologizing for the lurch, and I'm like, no, it's okay. We
So
had this.
you
all
knew
the
I
way
wasn't
in.
just a bad woman driver.
No, you're a good driver.
Well, am I though? Because I almost threw you out on the green.
Perhaps. Like,
It was fun. It was fun though. But yeah, we got some air. I think it just was the perfect, like we hit a uneven part going over a hill.
There were a lot of those.
Yeah. It was
I would
rough.
like to suggest, and I'm not gonna suggest anything. It was fun. It was really cold, and we're still trying to warm up. I have a coat covering my legs right now. I'm shivering like a granny.
I know we have lots of news, and you have our standby for news,
Mhm.
right? Okay.
Mhm.
But I need to know, I kind of missed y'all over the weekend. I'm not very good at like not doing business on the weekend. Abs
You
is really
don't
good at
say.
Look, I have to text the things or I forget the things and
Yeah.
all the things.
All the things.
And so
You got that potted up for us so we can start playing Becky Pringle?
I need to
the
get that
things.
pulled. Yeah. Get that
Oh, y'all
sound
are
effect.
gonna love this. Anyway, Allison.
I just want to know how y'all's weekend was. Oh,
JP?
sounds awesome.
I mean, it was Saturday. I made a day trip back to Gadsden.
I thought he about said I had a date.
No,
I did too.
I went back to Gadsden and got some more warmer clothes, and then watched Bama beat LSU. And then Sunday was a pretty good day. I actually went to church with Amy Beth and them, and then I went to see my 18-month-old nephew after church and hung out with him,
Cute.
and then pretty much did nothing the rest of Sunday. Napped.
Well played.
Yeah.
Sounds like
I think like
great.
Jesus planned it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Until I started texting.
Well, I called you on the way to Belk's at the summit.
Yeah. Did you find a tie?
I did find a tie. Yeah,
Turns out
JP's
we
got to
don't
get
need it.
fancy on Friday.
I did.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
We have a thing.
It's hard to keep up with abs. She vacuums in her Miss Alabama crown.
I
and
used to.
stilettos.
I don't. But when I was very young, perhaps a newlywed,
You're having a bad day. You're like, I'm gonna go.
I
get
lived
my
in Charleston.
crown.
We knew no one and missed my family and my husband because basically he was gone for the first 7 years. But we had a great time. Sometimes maybe I would pull that out. You don't know.
That's fun.
It's on the shelf behind us.
Mm.
If
It's on
you're
the shelves,
watching, you can see.
My Miss Alabama crown.
It's really
My
pretty.
mom probably saw it immediately because she
It's
we
sparkly
did all
and
the things.
beautiful. Did you have a good weekend though?
Yes, the kids ended up at our house. You guys, I did something terrifying and I'm probably going to hear about it. Well, I'm not going to. The kids ended up at our house. That was great. Chris and Will picked out stuff for their flip that they're working on. And I just love it when everybody's at my house.
Mm.
And Molly came home and everything's so quick now that you just appreciate, like I said on Friday, but I didn't know I was going to say it because it was going to happen on Saturday. When all the cars are in the driveway,
Mhm.
Aw.
Mama's happy.
Yeah.
And so I'm learning to appreciate that. That and my tiniest little granddaughter reaches for me now and likes to kiss my face. And
Cute.
I'm like dead when that
I can't
happens.
believe she's a grandma.
I'm a
of two.
grandma. I got 2 beautiful grandbabies.
I had my first nephew just recently, and they're the best. Yeah,
It's
they're awesome.
it's unbelievable. Like you see these people whipping out their pictures and you're like, oh,
I'm that guy now.
why are
Aw.
you bringing
I'm
out
actually
pictures?
gonna probably show y'all a picture of my nephew during the break.
Well, I hope you will. And now I'm
Cute.
like, oh, I don't have enough pictures. Allison Sinclair, did y'all have a busy weekend? I know you went to DMOP.
We went to the Demopolis, which I had never been to the Demopolis
Isn't it
or the
darling?
Linden or the Utah. Like, didn't know these places existed. It's an interesting place, and I got to see a whole new side of Alabama. Beautiful. Like the land out there. We stayed with some friends that have some land out there, and it's beautiful. It's quiet, but we dropped the baby boy off for his next adventure in adulting, and watched some football and Auburn.
Oh,
Auburn.
They almost had it.
They
I'm
almost
okay.
did it.
That loss, I'm okay with it. I'm okay. I don't know what happened to our defense that's been there all year.
Yeah, the offense got good, defense got bad.
563 yards.
Yeah.
And then no defense. Anyway, but we had a great weekend. It's good to be back. I missed y'all. I'm gonna work on not texting all the business. But I know a lot happened this weekend
a lot.
in the world of America. Kind of crazy.
It is pretty crazy.
I don't know. We probably don't have time to play the.
I mean, it's up to y'all. If we want to wait till after the break for the standby for news.
Do you have a banger montage for us?
It's a pretty good
Is it based?
montage. It's pretty based, yeah.
Hey,
Okay. All right. Then I guess we'll have to wait till we come back, and you'll have to wait till we come back because there's JP's miraculous montage. And then there is so much news. My yesterday years old, like full understanding of what was really going on. And between Allison, JP, and I, there's so much going on. And I'm sure you all have plenty to say. And before we go to break, y'all make sure on tomorrow's show to get your Veterans Day stories ready for your parents, for your grandparents. If you serve in the military, we want to hear from you. And we're going to do our best to bring you a banger Veterans Day show. However, first we have to go to a break.
hey, brother says hi to Miss America.
Hey, brother.
I think we need to come back with your crown on.
You're not allowed to put it on after you take it off.
What?
It's a rule.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Well, can we put it on the table?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. We'll be back. Welcome back to Rightside Radio. JP is throwing things on the floor.
Drop my phone. Sorry.
Oh, sounded way more dramatic than that. Are you ready for this this next segment? We're going to do our what is it? JP's Miracle Montage?
I just named it that because I had
Miraculous?
coffee and it went in my brain.
And it's
It came
Monday.
out. Yeah.
It's called alliteration.
Thank you.
But this is called Stand By for News.
By for news.
Do you have comment on the Senate clearing the first hurdle yesterday on the shutdown plan?
Yes, it's a great development. It's long overdue. It vindicates our position in this all along. We'll have a lot more to say at a press conference this morning.
Do you wish that you would have started looking for this off-ramp sooner? You said that Republicans were never going to change in their position.
I didn't fully understand how dug in they were. Again, because I was so focused on the Virginia elections, I wasn't in this discussion on the healthcare to see how dug in they were.
This is not politics. The only one playing politics is Chuck Schumer, who's kept the government shut down. He's voted 14 times to make sure we don't pay air traffic controllers. He voted 14 times to not open the government up, and he's encouraging his Democrat colleagues to do the same. So the only political play here is Chuck Schumer.
I don't care about your race. Your race and your empire will die. And you know what? All of this land will come right back to us, and I guarantee you, all my people.
Aren't we all people? Aren't we all human beings?
You don't treat us like human beings. We're going to continue to grow while your race dies off. And that's what it really is your white supremacy. You are so scared that
you're going to continue to grow while we die off.
You're so scared that your women aren't having children. That's why you're trying to ban abortion.
Someone who works at Planned Parenthood might have a different opinion about how polite the religious
Well, I mean, they are killing children, so that's part of the game. In your face.
Yeah. Would you like to call a play?
Well, I would like to do that if you'd like me to. And let's see, we have a very important, I think this is a very important couple of plays.
Here we go. Second and 7.
You're right, 2nd and 7. Let's see what happens. Whoa.
That's
all right.
Krosky Merritt.
Not bad.
Thanks for the visit.
I'd love to have your job someday.
Whoa. Just whoa.
Yeah, his play-by-play was 2nd and 7. Whoa, not too bad.
And then he said,
How did I miss that?
What I'm really saying is they need a touchdown here. Okay.
I think he should keep his day job.
Yeah.
Thanks, Donnie.
So where do you want to start? Because shutdown or all white people must die? Which
well,
one?
You know, both are intriguing, Allison. Where do you want to start?
I personally like all white people must die.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do white people must die, everybody. And then after white people must die, however long that takes, we'll get to the shutdown. Ooh, because that's when I can tell you that I was yesterday years old and I learned an important piece to the puzzle.
So, yeah, I'm really curious on that. I haven't.
You're going to say, oh, I knew that. But I'm just telling you that for as much attention as I pay to this subject, I didn't realize how very deep it went into what was going on. It's audio theater, everybody.
Like it. I sent in that clip of that. Was she Indian? Like Native American?
Yeah.
I couldn't really tell what flag she was holding. She's in the middle of a field. I guess something's going on, but she stops it and talks to this guy. And I don't think you played the whole thing, but it's very disturbing. I mean, it is very much, I don't care about you. You can die. All of your children can die. The white race needs to go away, and we will take back our land and we will take you out. Like no remorse, no shame, no nothing. And I thought about the election and what is going on across America. This is not by mistake. This is very much by design. You see Biden's open borders. What really started with Obama, with his talk about how we can't be exceptional anymore. American exceptionalism is bad. Anything American is inherently evil and wrong and bad. And so naturally what happens from that, then all the white liberal women come in and they decide to latch onto that. They're really the ones that voted for Obama. lots of people did, but you saw that rhetoric of how to be American, to be white, to be exceptional, to excel is bad. And that's exactly what is happening now. And then the mayor that gave his speech in Somali, Mamdani, who recognized every people group except Americans.
Yeah.
So my question is, do we think that I think clearly it's a plan. We are trying to do away with the entire American experiment. Are we going to let them do that?
No.
As a country?
Well, but could I back up to one thing that
Yeah.
I wish I could have heard the whole clip, because I thought that was fascinating. But these people are saying the quiet part out loud. They don't care anymore, that they're just out there with how they feel, which is super communistic. However, I wonder if the guy asking the question, and this is a question for all of us, would push back. I mentioned last week about the Zenification of American history in our kids' textbooks, but even more than that, because that started when we were kids. And I told you last week, and I'm still halfway through the Howard Zinn history book, who literally revised all of history. He was a left-wing lunatic who was also a sexual abuser, like allegedly. There's a book out, though, called The War Before Civilization. There's this myth of the noble savage Indian, American, Native American. There's a myth that before we got here, they were peaceful, they sang kumbaya, and they only passed the peace pipe. When in reality, they were savages also, because that's what the world was. Everybody has fought each other since the beginning for land. So we can't even get that part of our history correct, that there was a whole nother civilization and they did what they were going to do. And they pretend that that didn't exist and only this is what has existed. And the arrogance that it takes to think that way and then have it come out of your mouth is awe-inspiring. We cannot share a country with these people, and we have to push back against them at every single turn, or we will be in a world of hurt. But get your history right first, lady. Get that part right. Tell the truth, even the parts you don't like. We'd all be better off if we do that. You're listening to Rightside Radio. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. So we were just discussing not just Native American heritage based on a great clip that Allison played, but this idea, and we'll touch on it again in the 3 o'clock hour when we have a little more time to pull it apart, unravel it a little bit. Our history. Because you made a good point, and then I'm going to put a comma on it so we can to be continued. TBC. Right?
I like that.
And we all do it. This idea that we were the only people to exist ever here and there was nothing more before we got to a place. And that's what we were taught in our history books. We kind of had this like discombobulated history. I love the way my kids learned history. It was classical so that you could see what was going on at the world at the same time. And our youngest child can just rattle off when she was a little kid exactly what was happening at each time period. I didn't learn it that way. And it's an interesting concept, but the more I'm reading and learning about this subject, the more I'm like, oh, there's so much I don't know at all.
What? I know. We really have to wait because I have questions.
Producer JP.
Producer JP.
Produce us.
No, I mean, if y'all want to go into it now, we can. Yeah.
Well,
I think it's definitely a good topic. You know,
it's a very heavy topic.
I just didn't know if we wanted to get the government shutdown news
well, we do
out of the way first.
That is kind of a thing too, and it's really interfering with our plans because we had plans tonight and our plans got canceled.
They
because
did
of
get
this
canceled.
government shutdown.
Tubbs had to reopen the
We
government.
were so excited about
We were.
that. Okay.
I'm up, y'all.
Allison.
I'll write down my questions. I've got questions. I'll write them down.
So we'll come back to that in the 3 o'clock hour. And then we know you'll tell us about it on our text line when we get to the text line at 2:45-ish. We're going to do a better job of texting and conversating with y'all kind of at the end of each hour so that we can get through the news because we're a little bit like squirrel. Okay. So that's number one. Big story number one is the clip that Allison played. Number two is the government shutdown. That is a whole thing.
Or the end of the government shutdown.
Or the end of the government shutdown.
Maybe.
Is this the time I'm finally going to tell you what I learned?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So I originally knew that the Democrats said it out loud. This is not shade. This is out of their mouths. And over the weekend, we were all probably saving clips of them saying, this is the leverage. We have to use the leverage. And you're thinking, okay, leverage. You're keeping the government shut down. It's been voted on 14 times. You are keeping air traffic controllers at the bare minimum when we need so much more, which, by the way, we should have a privatizing certain areas of the government conversation, but not today. What I didn't realize, because I thought this was about SNAP benefits, and we'll get to that in hour two, but it was so much, and illegal immigrants, but it's really about Obamacare.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel dumb that I'm like, wait, that's what this was really about. And now you're opening the government so you don't have to deep dive into just how bad Obamacare really was. We all know that it was. We lived through it. But
JP didn't. He wasn't born.
That's right. We're not bitter about that, JP.
I'm just kidding.
I was born, but I was a kid. Yeah.
But it brought up not only that, and I don't know, does that ever happen to you where you go, oh, wow. You're like right there looking at a subject and then you back up and I'm going, oh.
It was also about the election.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
See, I'm a lot more cynical. I think on the surface level, they're saying it was Obamacare, but the true reason was just to obstruct, cause chaos. They wanted the SNAP to run out so that families could actually feel the pain. So then, the AOCs, the Bernie Sanders and all of them could say that it was Trump's fault that they can't feed their kids. And they just wanted chaos so that they could then, because that's the only thing they have, that the only leverage point they have is to just obstruct any chance they can. So I think that was their main reason. And the reason I say that is because Obamacare subsidies wasn't an issue earlier this year when they voted for this CR.
Right.
So although I agree with you, I think I do think they believe what they're saying when they want Obamacare subsidies, reinstated and all. But I think the true reason they shut the government down was to obstruct, and then also, like Allison said, get past the elections we just had with Mamdani and all of them. Which is why they're so pissed that the government's reopening, because part of the deal was, so they're going to fund it through January 31st. They're going to have a December vote on ACA subsidies and a full year of funding for VA and SNAP, and reversing the federal worker layoff since October 1st. That is like, they're going to have their chance to vote on ACA subsidies, but yet these people are calling Angus King and others traitors because they voted to reopen the government. So that just shows they actually don't care. They just wanted the government shut down.
They don't care. And so this is the great part where we can throw in what my pastor said yesterday, and I'm going to stumble through this, because for the Democrats and for some Republicans, what the government gives, the government can take away.
Mm-hmm.
It can give you food, or it can starve you. It can give you a home, or it can put you on the street. It can give you health care, or it can take away your health care. And when they're done with you, look at Canada, look at England, look at what happens. So for everybody who heard the Democrats say, we did this for leverage, Republicans voted 14 times and they said no every time. And then a few Democrats are like, okay, I'm going to vote for this.
Yeah.
To me, that, please understand, no matter where you're coming from, and I could be very wrong, what the government gives, the government can take away. And that makes those who worship government statist, and you've given them your power. And look at what that power has done. It's been exposed. They have shown you their cards. They don't give a rat's rear end about you or your life.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
The state's a lousy God. It's not very good at it.
Very lousy God. Am I wrong about that? Or is that, I mean, like, I know you have so many thoughts on that.
No, I mean, this was never the way it was supposed to be. We've way jumped the shark with what the federal government or even state government. I mean, being over in Demopolis, our friends just had fiber run to their farm, paid for by the state. The state has no business in running fiber to, like, we're just not in that business. We shouldn't be in the business of feeding the community. We shouldn't be in the business. I mean, that is historically the church's role, the community's role, your neighbor's role. I mean, we've just the government's hand is in everything, and we've got to start pulling back on that. I wonder, though, if the government reopens and all this goes back, like, who do y'all think won? I kind of feel like, I don't know if there was a winner or a loser, but I still feel like the Republicans just caved in this. And I hope they still explore the idea of abolishing the filibuster and just getting things done. Because otherwise, I mean, honestly, we're no further along than we were when all this started. Mm-hmm. If anything, we're further behind, because now we've given the left all these promises. It's like giving a toddler a reward when they pitch a fit in the middle of the grocery store. And so I get it. People are suffering. We've got to get, flights back going, and SNAP benefits for the people that really need it is necessary. But at some point, somebody has to do something really hard. And the Republicans just generally do not like to do hard things.
Agree.
Mm-hmm.
Agree.
They don't do whatever it takes to win.
No.
Yeah.
And if they don't, and you were talking about this before the show, I mean, we're going to lose bigly in the upcoming election.
Well, if you're asking who won and who lost, I think both sides gave up something, but I think the Democrats gave up way more than the Republicans, because, Rand Paul was complaining about how we funded VA and SNAP through a year at the levels we're currently spending it at, which, is unfortunate. But look at the Democrats. They shut down the government for what was it? 30 something days, almost 40 days.
40, yeah.
And so just for them to say, okay, we'll have a debate on ACA subsidies this month and y'all will lose.
Yeah.
And so now they pretty much just shut down the government to have a debate over ACA subsidies, which they'll lose because they don't have the majority. And then that's it. So and then again, it's funded through January 31st. So come end of January, we may have another government shutdown over the same thing. But I think right now, like the Democrats, that they did all of this just so that they could have a debate that they're not going to win over Obamacare.
But did they win because they just won? So like the blue wave.
I don't know.
Do you think it impacted it that much?
No, I think the blue wave was going to happen either way. Honestly,
I do too.
Yeah.
I think that was going to happen. And you're right. We've talked about this, and this is probably one of our show themes, is Republicans, could y'all just grow a spine? Could we be less concerned about being nice and sweet and making sure that everything's even and fair and like do what's right? Because you're right. Trump has to do hard things. And for the people who don't like Trump, it makes them hate him even more. But it's not any different than this silly Christmas movie, Daddy's Home or Daddy's Home 2.
Oh, those are my favorites.
I love those movies. They're hilarious. But this is what we're experiencing. This is what it looks like. You can tell on the world stage that the world thinks Trump is awesome. Meanwhile, we have people back home still saying Orange Man is bad. Orange Man is bad. But he's about the only one who's willing to say, I don't care what we have to do. There are certain things it takes to have good governance, good leadership, and I'll do it. And I'll take the hits for you. Literally. And we're back stuck on, well, I mean, I don't know. Could we just stop with that? Which makes elections very important.
I feel like the Democrats live in some alternate universe. Clearly, their logic and reasoning has left the planet a long time ago. But in some ways, I feel like the Republicans are just the same way. And I want to be like, this is not a game. This is real life. We are at war. And when you go to war, you go to war to win. You don't play footsie under the table with your enemies. And that is exactly what we're doing. And we will lose every single time. And not only that, America will lose, and America will probably cease to exist in 50 years if we don't do something. I feel like now is, and I'm not even being dramatic. It sounds dramatic, but I feel like now, if we don't do it now, we're done.
Yeah. Agree.
But God, always God. But it's
we got to do our
looking
part
good.
too. Yeah.
Right. He uses us. And we got to make a choice to allow him. Otherwise, you will surely die. And it is over.
Which is a great segue.
A great way.
Sorry.
A Wednesday Graham way.
I was trying to say great and segue at the same time. It's a great segue into our next topic, actually. The one we were just talking about.
What?
The white race.
Oh, well, don't we have to take a break?
We do.
Mr. Producer?
That we do. We do have to take a break, unfortunately.
All right. You want to take us to break?
Sure. You're listening to Rightside Radio. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to, oh my word, I almost said the wrong radio show. Welcome back to Rightside Radio. That's all I'm going to say. Allison Sinclair, JP, you guys, your texts are on fire. And JP and Allison are going to share some of the spectacular texts you guys have already sent in. So thank you for that. And let me just tell you, in the 3 o'clock hour, we have a surprise. Okay. And we're going to be surprised too.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to, we have a surprise, and it should be at 3:30. So stay tuned for that surprise. Stay tuned for continued conversation on the original conversation of white people dying off, apparently. Also, I have a little clipperoonie for us talking about SNAP benefits. It dovetails beautifully with what Allison brought up because it brings up a deeper conversation about the church's role in the whole situation. So just right there, setting a table. Today, the table has hot coffee and donuts on it because it's so freaking cold outside.
You got me excited. I was like, donuts where?
Maple bacon?
No donuts.
Wow. No.
But hot coffee, Lavazza coffee. JP, you can drink your other coffee.
We don't mention that brand.
We're not going to mention that brand. I'm mentioning my favorite.
They're liberals, but JP likes their coffee.
They're good coffee.
But we can't.
It's
we
gamey.
can't support the people that want to kill all the white people.
It's gamey black coffee. I don't know what you want me to say.
JP.
What did you say?
It's gamey.
Said gamey.
Oh.
Yeah, gamey. Like, yeah.
Like tastes like deer?
No, it's just strong. That's just, my word for strong.
Oh.
Yeah.
My husband calls that, honey, sometimes you make it like motor oil.
Yeah.
You know what? It's what I need to get through the day.
Yeah.
Okay. Text. Hey, we need a song for texts.
A song for text?
Yeah. What do we like an alert?
I mean, I got
like it would be
I got a sound
the
effect.
typing cat.
What is it?
It's time to go to the text line.
JP, that's all you know how to do.
JP, what else do you have?
But watch him. It makes him laugh. Like he gets so amused with himself.
It's hilarious. I don't know why.
It's really funny. Do it again. One more time.
Okay. Thank you. All right. What are we saying on the text line?
I have to read this text that came in at 5:15. I guess Friday. Do you see this?
Mm-hmm.
Did you read this?
I did actually. Yeah.
Okay. This is from Amy. And it took me a minute. And if you didn't listen Friday, you have no clue what we're about to talk about. This is Kevin works in Auburn, Alabama. Kevin! Kevin! Is that true?
Kevin
Roberts?
No, it says it's Kevin Briggins. That's what it says in the text.
Where? Where do I see that?
The second text. She says that they have a video of two guys that are conservative like our show, and that the YouTube channel Kevin Briggins is from Birmingham and the other guy Devin is from Atlanta.
Okay, well then I was so wrong. Well, she does say she loves our show.
Thank you very much, Amy.
Yes,
Thank
and
you,
that we're
Amy.
doing a great job. I thought she was saying Kevin Roberts of Heritage Foundation works and lives in Auburn and was in the National Guard, but
that would be something.
Retired and has 4 kids and homeschools kids.
JP,
okay, but look, she talks about Alton Hardy's church in Fairfield, which I've always wanted to go to.
Is a boss. What a wonderful preacher of the gospel.
Yes,
That's awesome.
he is like Vody Bauckham.
Mm-hmm. Incredible. Right here in Birmingham. Amazing.
All right, what else you got, JP? Since I was wrong.
We got Tom with all the kids. We were talking about showing pictures of your grandkids and such. She said, but I don't like it when the little old lady says, "Let me show you my grandbabies," and proceeds to whip out pictures of the cats and dogs.
Yeah, I don't like that. That is not okay. They are not your children.
Jeff from Indiana says, "Hey, it's okay if they want to kill off the white people. That's what gets Virginia AGs elected. They want to kill white people and white children because they may become fascists. So apparently it's acceptable now, just as long as they're Republicans."
That's accurate and hurts a little bit.
Mike from Florence says, "This is something that's been on my mind a long time. Open borders along with affirmative action followed by DEI has been pushing white men out. Guess what? With the white men out of the picture over time, white women will be out too. Maybe a long way from extinction, but of little worth and no relevance."
Interesting.
And then we got Chris from Athens that says, "JP, you should say this. It does not matter if you are a Republican or Democrat. Politicians on both sides of the aisle are all corrupt. None of them, no matter what they say, they only care about power. They will say whatever to get elected and stay elected. Once they get past the elections, they do whatever they want and do not care about their constituents. You know I'm right." He said, "Just look at the stuff you and Phil will talk about with the Republicans in Alabama. The DC politicians are even worse."
I don't think he's wrong.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't think he's wrong. And I think, you know what, Chris, you're right. And Allison and I have had these conversations as well. That's a good point. When we are talking about the politicians, yes, we're talking about DC, because I know that we all have friends in our lives, family in our lives that are very liberal. And when we're talking about them, we're talking about the policies that lead to the nonsense like the Jay Johnson text. Did I say that right?
Jay
Jones text. I'm sorry, Jay Johnson, wherever you are. I went to school with you. I am so sorry. I apologize. I don't even know if
Jay
you live
Johnson
here.
does not kick puppies.
Sorry.
Just Jay Johnson.
But you're right. It is both sides, and it is very hard for people to understand, not only in DC, but way down in Montgomery. How often do we ever get what we're actually after? How about never? Or very rarely.
When we come back, can y'all tell me one DC politician that you think is not corrupt?
Oh, I got one of mine. Yeah.
You do?
Mm-hmm. I'll say when we come back.
Thought that might be difficult.
Kermit the Frog?
I only have one too.
All right.
Just have to wait and see.
All right. We're going to a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I got it right, Allison. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair, my partner in crime. We like to say the quiet part out loud.
That's good. I like that.
Okay.
It gets you in trouble.
It gets you in a lot of trouble.
Who was it? What was his name? The congressman that died. Not John Lewis. Was it John Lewis?
Who was it? Did he say that?
Well, he was a Democrat, but that's okay. He said a good thing, actually. He talked about getting in good trouble.
Oh, that probably was John Lewis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
but not
he was a
Huntsville
civil
John Lewis.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a civil rights guy, right?
Yeah.
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 So we ask a question. Actually, Allison asked the question. And look, we're going to look at our text for a few minutes more because we're asking you the question as well. Best politician, or do you think they're all corrupt?
Yeah, that's so meaning not captured by any foreign government or lobbyist or big pharma.
Should we tell that story, how we know about people being captured? Perhaps we know somebody who would notice
look, your
that people
tires
would,
are getting slit, not mine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe we know somebody, or maybe we don't. You probably have observed this on your own because there's plenty of documentaries out about politicians getting captured. They vote one way and then they take a giant delegation trip. And when they come back, they vote a different way. Huh.
No, it happens
That's
in
so
Alabama
weird.
too.
Yeah.
Alabama.
I don't
it
know
doesn't
what
happen
happens
here.
overseas.
No one knows. Or, maybe you're totally against something and then somebody whispers, but I got 100,000 reasons. Giving you a reason.
And she's really blonde.
Real cute. And suddenly they become less conservative. So
I actually don't know who you're talking
most
about,
effective.
It's basically all of Montgomery and DC.
okay.
So there's not just.
We don't trust a whole lot of people in Montgomery, and I bet our listening audience is the same. But who do y'all think who's the least captured, most effective politician? You can pick DC and you can pick Alabama.
But sometimes the least captured is not the most effective.
That's true.
That's true.
So
she's right. The lady is right.
The lady is right. I don't. So which?
Let's go least affected by outside interests.
Okay.
All right.
You
want
go
mine
first.
Thomas Massey, for sure.
Oh shoot! Really?
Thomas Massey would be the one for sure. Now, back in my libertarian naive days, Massey was my guy, but I don't agree with him on a lot. And I don't think he has the backbone to actually do what needs to be done in a lot of areas. But that guy is his own man and he will vote how he wants to vote, period, the end. So I would say my two, I guess, would be Marjorie Taylor Greene, but hers seems really inauthentic. And
can we please talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Yeah,
what happened to her?
I don't know. I swear she's about to switch parties.
Well, yeah, that's so. I think she's doing a lot of this for her own political gain. So I don't think it's authentic. But Massey, ever since he's stepped into Capitol Hill, he's been his own guy and he's voted how he wants to vote. Period. Whether I agree with it or not, which I don't agree with a lot of it, but I would say for sure. I mean, he's definitely not captured by any outside interests.
Okay, and it's not just because I love him and he's my favorite and I work for him.
I know what you're gonna say. Look what I wrote down before you say it.
Yeah, I mean Tim Burchett, Congressman.
Burchett's great.
From my hometown, Knoxville, Tennessee, that Union town. I've actually looked into his donors and his reports, and I love it because it's a lot of just normal people, small donations. There are a few larger donations from different businesses, but I know them all. They're all like Knoxville businesses. I mean, it's very homegrown, very Tennessee, very normal. Like I don't think he's working for anyone but himself, which is himself is very, very funny and awesome. And I do think he's effective as well. He's great in that he knows how to work the system and still stay true to himself, if that makes sense.
That is the best, I think.
It's rare that you can do both.
Yes.
Burchett is a great Twitter follow. I love because
He's hilarious.
every
on
Friday
Twitter.
every Friday night in his home state, Tennessee, he does high school football game concession stand reviews. And
I haven't even seen this.
one of my favorite videos he's posted was, when the Subway guy, the guy that threw the footlong at the cops and ran away. So like a couple of days after that, he took a video of him walking out of a Subway and he goes, I got my pistol on me, but I figure I get some backup while I'm out here. And he had a Subway in his hand.
He's just and he was like that 30 years ago when I worked on his little state Senate campaign in Tennessee. I mean, he has not changed at all. Still wears his Carhartt jacket, still does, it's still the same guy. I just don't know anyone else that's as good and solid as him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would be my leading contender, but the second one that I like is probably because he is so funny is Kennedy from Louisiana. I like him as well. And the reason I like him is I don't know how he turns a phrase. I don't know how he comes up with what he comes up with on the spot. But I think for Kennedy and for Burchett, they have a very transparent social media presence. And you can look at their lives and you know that they are living out what they're telling you. Also, humor is a gift. And they can wield that sword so well that you want to follow them and find out what they have to say. I wish more people would have that. I know that's not everybody's jam, but those are the two follows that are in DC that I really like both of them. Other ones I've liked Thomas Massey in the past. I am so sorry that he lost his wife.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of the things he's wobbly on. I don't know what happened to Marjorie Taylor Greene. I wish that I thought she was going to be different. But those are the ones, I'm with you. Those are the ones that you watch over time. You're like, oh my word, because they don't care. And you can only not care in the best kind of way when you're free.
Yeah.
And that's what I like in both of them.
So I think it goes without saying because our texters are saying it. Stan McDonald said Tuberville in DC and Ernie Yarbrough in Montgomery.
Yeah, I was going to say Ernie. Yeah. Alabama.
I like Ernie and I like Tuberville. Good. Yes, Stan.
He also said honorable mention to recently retired Mo Brooks and constitutional office holder Andrew Sorrell.
Yeah. But
yeah.
I'm seeing a trend, Stan. I'm seeing a trend. Yeah.
We agree.
I mean, and it's hard because every single one of them, like Ernie Yarbrough is one of the most principled, true conservatives. And you watch Montgomery and they just push him out. He gets blackballed from everything.
Mm-hmm.
Same way with Andrew Sorrell, who is actually running for Secretary of State.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are so principled, it's hard to get things done. And that stinks. That is Montgomery for you. Jeff from Indiana says Rand Paul.
Yeah.
Mike from Florence says Rand Paul. Jay from Legtown.
Mm-hmm.
It's a town.
I guess so.
Tommy Tupperware.
Cool. Tommy Tupperware.
That's good. I like that.
Merle. John Kennedy.
Okay.
Yep. John Kennedy. Merle. I would love to play the most compromised politician game.
Oh gosh.
We're
walking on
thin
ice. Do you have
a whole day?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we got YouTube comments. Bold username says Susan DeBose. Susan is a solid.
She's great.
Solid conservative. She knows how to get things done. She wins.
Yep. I agree with that.
She wins.
We I have to say, because they're jogging my memory, we do have some great people in Montgomery right now. I think 2 cycles ago, we elected some very strong conservative leaders. But I think what you just said about Ernie Yarbrough, that Chris Shaver wants to take a trip to Ireland, a history trip with him next year.
Dude.
And I just enjoy every time I'm around him. But we've got to talk about, and let's put a period on the conversation until session happens. Why in the world do we in red Alabama, and I don't mean communist red, I mean Republican Alabama, send somebody like that and then not let them get anything done? Why don't we have more people who would come alongside him like obscenity or other, like, do
You
know
know
what
the
I'm
answer
saying?
to that, though.
Well, I know, but I want to
Oh.
jog everybody's memory.
Okay,
This
so
is
we won't
radio.
talk.
This is
Sorry.
theater.
Sorry, I just
But
wanted
you
to
see
be
what I'm
literal.
saying? Why in the world would you be able to go ding, ding, ding? He is a solid conservative, but they blackball him.
It's because the D's disguised as R's.
The D's.
The
D's.
The Democrats.
The big D's, and I don't mean Dallas.
So Senate Pro Tem Garland Gudger is going to be on our show on Thursday. Kind of a big deal. We
I
really
like
should
Garland.
ask him all these questions and see, what
You think he'd tell us? Garland, are you going to tell us?
I think he'll tell us. I think he'll tell us what's, we can look at some of the pre-filed bills and go through that. I think he'll tell us what they're talking about. Garland, I've found, is I think he'll answer the questions. I mean, he has nothing to hide, and he knows all the things. But it's hard when you're down there, because you start, and I'm not talking about Garland, but you start, everything starts to become normalized, like just the way you act and who you talk to and who you listen to and who you don't. And it's just, you get in this bubble and you forget that, hey, you have constituents that you represent. You don't represent that lobbyist in the hallway that just slipped you that gift card or that money or, taking you on that trip. So I don't know. I think Thursday will be a really good conversation with Garland, and maybe we'll start talking about some of the issues that are going to come to Alabama. I think session starts January 13th. Buckle up. It's going to be here before you know it.
Good time. Also, just a little teaser. We have a special surprise on Wednesday, just like we have a special surprise today. Perhaps.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Let me check my text.
Please. Please. We have to take a break. So we'll have a little convo on the other side. Your texts are coming, flowing, really good stuff. We appreciate the interaction.
All I see is the two most fake Republican, and it cuts off. So you'll have to wait till after the break.
All right. We'll see you on the other side. Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair. Sometimes we don't even want to put on our headphones because we're having conversation. Like JP's probably like, what are y'all doing? We're talking or planning.
It's like the show gets in the way of our conversation, which I guess we should just save it for the radio.
We should save it for the radio.
That's what radio pros would do.
I know. But the problem is that means it would be quiet in the breaks, and none of us like silence.
It's awkward.
All right. So we're going to finish the conversation that we had about killing off white people. It was a thing. She said it. We didn't say it.
I don't even think about what you just said. We're having a serious conversation about this. They legitimately, it's not even a joke. They want to kill the white people.
They do want to kill the white people. Why do they want to kill the white people, guys?
Well, there's a name for this. It's the Great Replacement. That conspiracy theory, even though in real time, I mean, it's happening.
I mean, you're talking about the immigration theory they put out back in like 2000 and like the UN put out in 2002.
Oh, yeah.
That's already happened in Germany and England. It's happening in France. They're trying to do it here. I think they're having a lot harder time. I mean, Biden gave them, and when I say them, I guess the people who want to enact the Great Replacement, whoever that may be, the ability to do that with just a wide open border. But I think Trump coming into office, even though some people are complaining that the mass deportations and such have not been happening as fast as they would like, I think Trump winning was a sign that real Americans, were not going to keep going along with it. But it's sad when you look across the sea and see England, France. I was in France this summer and I was in Paris, and let me tell you, it's real. Okay. It's definitely happening in Europe, unfortunately, in Germany. But I think they're trying to do it in America, but I don't think they're having as easy as a time as they would like. Yeah.
I agree. And it all does stem from that initial conversation that this female on the news said that she thought it was okay that we're all going to die. Y'all are all going to die out.
Yeah. See, do you get to live?
I get to live.
Since Abs is half black, she gets to live.
It's a real story. And yes, I get to live. I have just enough melanin.
Alice and I are toast.
We're so done.
Y'all are out.
Toast.
Maybe I'll dye my hair black.
You should, and maybe spray tan.
Yeah, I don't think it works. The blue eyes, man, just close my eyes and
Give
walk
it away.
around. But Abs, I mean, serious question though. Who gets to live and who has to die? Eventually, I think they start to eat their own though, right?
They always eat their own. Remember a couple of years ago, it was a different story, but there was the Me Too movement. These are the same kinds of people when they're loaded up and hauled away that they'll look at the person putting them on the bus and go, wait. Me too? Mm-hmm. Yes, it was always you. You were always an apparatchik and you didn't know. You bought in hook, line, and sinker. You didn't read those crazy conspiracy theorist books like Saul Alinsky, who, yes, wrote for the left, but the right read the book and went, oh. Or who read up about communism and the agitation that goes on that has been around for about 100 years in the United States, at least. But we wouldn't know that because our history was revised. Please, I beg you, if you like to read or listen to audiobooks, go listen to Howard Zinn. And I'll find the title. I'll do it in the break on my pages because I'm reading it right now. But also look up a book called The War Before Civilization, because Allison, you said it early in the first hour. There's this idea that this is all there ever has been or ever will be. And there was a war before civilization, and this myth that everybody that was here was peaceful and they sang and danced across the plains and nothing was ever wrong. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Because we're disconnected from history, correct me if I'm wrong, we don't know that. And so the idea that Native Americans had slaves, true. That Native Americans hurt women and children, true. They did that to each other before we got here. But we did what cultures have done since the beginning of time. It was a war for the land, and whoever won got it. This is not a new story. What is new is that we don't know it. You're listening to Rightside Radio. We'll be right back. Welcome to Rightside Radio, where some days I need all the help I can get.
It's been the same number from the beginning.
I'm sorry. I did not know that. I was unaware. Maybe I wasn't. I just panicked.
You knew.
The phone lines are open, and we want to tell you the number. You probably already know the number, but we hear that some people are calling. It's 833-687-4448. 833-687-4448. Program that into your phone, because maybe once a day, we don't know. It's kind of when we're feeling it, we'll turn the phone lines on, but we do have some people calling in, and maybe even more calling in the 4 o'clock hour. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we actually have a really special guest if we can get him to focus long enough.
I'm like, dude, stop with the squirreling.
Well,
Like, squirrel.
He's an expert on January 6th, and a lot of January 6th stuff kind of started coming out this weekend. I think it would be good to
He knows
get
a lot.
some information from him, but we'll see. Hopefully he'll call. Until then, what are we doing, producer?
I mean, do we just want to stay on the same thread we were on? I feel like we tried to pack a lot into like a 6-minute segment, that past segment.
We did.
We did.
We did. And we can continue on the thread, because what I really would like to do is, if we get to, and we may not until tomorrow, talk about the SNAP benefit lady clip that I have, but that's for later. Just tell us anytime we have somebody on the phone line, because maybe another fun person's calling us. I don't know.
Yes, I sent the text.
Okay. Okay.
And it's tough conversations, but it's really good, knowledgeable people that can add a lot to these conversations, because especially the one about Native Americans and how did y'all know America was the first country ever to have slavery?
You don't say.
Ever.
Like no one else did before us?
It wasn't in the Old Testament. It wasn't. No.
Like there were no,
just the white people of America,
and only certain people were slaves. White people were not slaves.
No, and I don't think there were any black slave owners either.
Yeah, exactly.
None. I mean, zero.
No. And nobody ever conquered people
ever,
until
since God
here.
created the earth, nothing.
That's why we had to get rid of Columbus Day, all the things. Kidding, of course.
Yeah.
But the sad part is there are a lot of people that believe that buy into it. And you look at what they're about to do. And I don't know, Ernie Yarbrough might call in to talk about this new curriculum that they are trying to pass with the school board, which totally rewrites history.
Even more than it's been rewritten.
Yeah, and it's kind of scary because there are a lot. I mean, gosh, we're in Alabama. And I think people get lulled in this sense that, well, it won't happen here. It can't happen here. We're ruby red. We're a super majority Republican conservatives.
I love when people say that.
Oh,
doesn't that make your skin crawl a little bit?
Super majority. It's like, y'all don't act like one.
No.
Yeah. So, but it's something that we need to talk about because it happened. It's the real history, and it matters in your worldview, which is what Abs you talk about all the time.
I have a question.
Oh, question.
We have all had the opportunity, as have many of you, to travel. And we stood in the Coliseum years ago.
This past summer, I did that.
My most favorite place on earth. I would sometimes dream about hopping a flight and going there and not coming back. How is it that Europe and even parts of the Middle East, the parts that they didn't destroy in the different needless wars that we've engaged in, how is it that they are able to keep some of their monuments to horrific history standing? Meanwhile, over here, back at the ranch, the place that never had any trouble before, only here did we do bad things. Like we're the first, we invented bad things. Why are we so fragile that we cannot look our history squarely in the face and say, we did it, we've learned from it, moving on? Why can't we do the same thing here?
I think part of it is we're such an empire and we are so comfortable. We are so successful as a nation. I think sometimes I say we, obviously not, conservatives, but I think a lot of Americans feel the need to create our own problems and solve our own history, even though there's nothing wrong. Like, these are our founding fathers that created the greatest country ever. But I think that's part of it. I think, we try to solve our own problems because we don't have, countries invading us. So we have to find a problem to solve, and it's our own history. But also, I think because we're the greatest country on earth, that there are people who want to destroy us from within. And if we can forget what our nation is and our nation's identity and cause Americans to hate our nation's identity, then Americans won't have anything worth, they won't see America worth fighting for or preserving. So then we just kind of destroy ourselves from within. I think there's been a massive reversal on that. I think 2020 was a really bad time in terms of destroying monuments. There was the Charlottesville incident and a bunch of others. But I think my sense is, especially in the younger generation, that idea is being rejected. And it's cool to be American. It's cool to be fond of your ancestors and your founding fathers, and you don't have to destroy monuments. But I think, you talk about why it's not happening in Europe. I think there are people who want to see America destroyed. So they, from within, also with money, paid agitators to do that. So I think that's the main reason.
I've never understood the whole rewrite history thing, because I look back and I try and put it in more personal terms of, for instance, in my life, my parents divorced when I was 3. Nobody would ever choose that. It is heartbreaking. And it's not something that I think either of my parents are proud of. It reshaped me. There's obviously fallouts from that and things that I've had to work through. But it's what I went through. It's part of my story. And you take it and you learn from it and you redeem it. And I feel like in so many things in the past that just because you acknowledge it does not mean you say it was for the best or that it was good. You acknowledge it to learn from it, to move on, to be better on the other side. And so we're starting to just strip away all of these bad things, but really, whatever it is, a disagreement with your husband or your kids, if you're committed to being better, you are on the other side. And you get through it and you use that moment. And to deny some of the really tragic things that happened in our history is really to lose a lot of what makes us so great. And like you were talking about, every civilization has gone through this. And it doesn't mean that we're proud of what we did, but you're gonna repeat it if you just start wiping it away. And we look at like the lady yelling at the white man saying, "We're going to kill you." So now all of a sudden we've just gone in a giant circle where we're back to behaving like the ways that we swore we hated and we would never be. So it's really sad to see. And I don't know how you get that group of people out of that mindset, because they're so dug in and so committed to, it seems like committed to taking us to the brink, taking us to that place of tension and of kind of maybe war in whether physically or I don't know.
We're already in a cold civil war.
We're in a cold civil war. That's a great, okay, that's the words I was looking for. And it doesn't seem like the other side is going to back down, which means we can't either, which goes back to the shutdown and what we're enduring there. Republicans, we have to win. Conservatives, we have to win. Christians, you have to win.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we lose.
By the way, we got somebody that just called in. This is Mike from Huntsville. He said he wanted to talk about the topic we're on right now.
Okay.
So
do we have time to take?
We do. Yeah.
Just a few minutes. Okay.
Yeah. Mike from Huntsville, you are on the line.
Okay, great. Listen, if you ever look at the Antifa manual, you'll find that there's a lot in there regarding and everybody says it was written by a professor, but it's accurate as to what the politics are. It's much more sinister than incidental ignorance. It's a deliberate infiltration. Because if you look at the immigration laws and you look at the change that allowed Islam and those that follow Sharia law to come into the country, it was significant. In the 80s, they did it basically surreptitiously. So now you have this problem, which you have in New York, and the people have been bullied down by saying that Islamophobia, but Islamophobia was the project from 1984 that was sponsored by both CAIR and the Muslim Brotherhood. And so you have a bill that's very important to stop Sharia law in the United States that's sponsored by Tuberville, Senator. And so that's going to be very important to get that passed to protect that issue. But the prejudice against white people is a tactic of polarization that was used by the Bolsheviks in the same kind of context, and which resulted in the death of millions of people in Russia and the Soviet Union. Anyway, that's what I had.
Wow. It's all very good points and very Tuberville's bill. Has it been filed officially? I don't know if he's officially.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I believe it has. Yes.
Okay.
I think it has.
Do you think it
And I
has
think
any
that-
chance of passing?
Yes, it should. The Democrats are opposing it because they basically have they've changed their symbol from the donkey to the camel. And you've seen that in the process of becoming Islamocrat. The whole entire dynamic of Islam and the change in civilization takes place in Western European cultures. And Christianity is under attack for that very basis. And I'm glad that people are beginning to wake up and realize the danger it is to allow that kind of mindset. And the same thing with making white guilt an issue is the same thing they used in the way of the Islamophobia Project. If you go to the Holy Land Foundation trials and look at the documents, you'll find the Islamophobia Project that was discovered in a search warrant in 1984 in Switzerland that gave rise to this entire situation. So the Muslim Brotherhood is a criminal operation that's been banned in most countries in the world except here. Unbelievable that we allowed that to occur. There were 6 of them on Obama's cabinet, and which is one of the reasons you have the polarization and the racism that's taking place in the United States against white people. And it's really bad that we've gotten to that point.
I totally agree. I hate to cut you off. We've got to take a break, but really good points. And I think this is a worthwhile discussion that will probably continue. You're listening to Rightside Radio. We'll be right back.
Somebody thought we were serious.
Are we
This
back?
is awesome. We're back.
Are we doing a show?
We're doing a show. This is Rightside Radio. Thank you for your texts. I know some of y'all were toying with the idea of calling. Thank you, Mike, for your call. It's been a day. It's already the end of the 3:00 hour. We have another great topic and perhaps a phone call. We don't know, but we have plenty of things to talk about because we may or may not revisit the SNAP benefit lady that I've got a clip. We're just going to have to see.
I have to read this text.
Okay, Allison, read the text.
Somebody Googles where the 305 area code is.
Let me look up.
Okay.
That's in Tennessee. Is that in Tennessee?
No.
It's Miami.
Oh, we have a
Oh,
listener.
can you play Miami Vice?
I don't know.
Miami.
Copyright.
Miami.
Okay.
Copyright may give me on that one.
Okay.
Well, we're going to just call him Miami. America was not first in slavery. The Jews were enslaved by Egyptians thousands of years ago. Japanese enslaved Chinese hundreds of years ago. Today, there is active slavery in Arab countries. There has always been slavery. Come on, y'all.
Did this guy not get the sarcasm?
I guess maybe he sent the text before I said, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I bet he did because Miami's so far away and the fiber optic wires in the
government
the
ran for free.
universe is far.
I thought it was
from
pretty
Birmingham
clear.
or Birmingham to Miami, but you're exactly right. You actually made our point for us. And we know we're new to this whole right side media world, but we also love the sarcasm. Please keep texting us. But that was actually our point.
So, but yes, that is our point. But there are actually people out there
today.
If you went on the street
right now,
I bet if you asked where slavery began, it would be in the South.
Yeah.
And not South America or South Africa or south of Egypt. South Egypt.
Yeah.
It would be like
Egypt.
Mississippi.
Well, I meant to say this earlier, but y'all talking about changing history. They never talk about the fact that hundreds of thousands of white men died to end slavery in the Civil War.
Amen.
Abraham Lincoln, a white guy, ended slavery. So they never tell the part about, white people in America ending slavery. It's always, that, the white people in the South started slavery and they were the only people that had slaves in the world. But yeah, it's they leave that part out of the history about all of the hundreds of thousands of white men that literally died to free the slaves.
And think about its spark started with William Wilberforce in England.
Mm-hmm.
He was a churchman, and that's also an uncomfortable little bit of history.
He was like, "This is not right.
It is not right. It's ending.
Reverse.
That's right.
Should we do the rest of the show like this?
I think in British would be great.
What is wrong?
You don't like our accent?
We're going to read Caleb with a K's text in this accent. Actually, you're much more regal than I am.
Oh, darling. I don't think so. I just have to pretend that I'm asking for some Grey Poupon.
She's very much the queen.
So, Caleb with a K.
Okay, Caleb with a K has come so far. Do you remember when we filled in?
Yeah, the first fill-in y'all did for Phil.
And what did he say?
Actually, I can scroll up and read the
Oh, I
text
don't know if we want to know this.
This
hurts a little, Caleb.
He just said, geez, the show sucks today. He said, geez, tuned in about 15 minutes ago and the show sucks today. But then y'all played into the bit. And then at the end of the show, he texted, I love it with laughing emojis. So y'all won him over.
And today he said, great show again today, ladies. You've done a fantastic job with the transition. Not to mention you're much more easy on the eyes than Phil. Phil, no. Well, you know what? Caleb with the K, I am just so proud of you for sticking with us. We really appreciate that, actually, because we do. We know we're different. The foundation, the beliefs, the message is all the same, but I definitely don't know as many big words as Phil. And and like I can't monologue. Now Abs can monologue. JP can monologue, but we're trying here. But we're glad that you are still listening.
Really, honestly, if we had a Treehouse Gang t-shirt, you'd get the first one. But we don't have any yet.
Someday.
But we want to thank you for everybody for your kindness. You have no idea how much it means. Truly.
Just waiting for Kareem to say he loves us.
Yeah, Kareem hadn't called in.
Yeah, he hasn't.
It's going to be a while.
How's he
going
not
to be
calling today? Because today's like Kareem Day.
Kareem Day.
Probably not. So, guys,
look,
what? We have another one.
Stephen from Athens says we eventually will have to have the Crusades again.
That's uncomfortable. I mean, because then we'll have to go back and find out why we had the Crusades, like the unrevised version.
Yeah, I didn't even think you could say the word Crusades.
I don't think you can, but he did. And if you,
he did. It wasn't us.
Said, we didn't do
Stephen
it.
From
Allegedly,
Athens.
He said that. And you'll have to read the history books because you may find out that it's not what you thought it was. How's that? Maybe? Yeah? What?
Oh, when we come back, Aaron from Madison has some good words.
Oh, I love this. Oh man. Okay, look. Perhaps snap, perhaps a phone call.
Edge of your seat. You're going to have to wait for this.
Don't go anywhere. We'll literally be back in 6 minutes.
That's a long time. Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Allison Sinclair. I feel like sometimes we should just talk. Like, why don't you all say, well, JP, they know you. This is Allison. This is Allison.
I'm Amy Beth. I'm Amy Beth. I'm Amy Beth.
Do you sound like Leslie from Parks and Rec? No, that's me.
You sound like Leslie from Parks and Rec. I don't know who I sound like.
Oh, by the way,
You sound like Amy Beth.
Somebody.
Thanks, JP.
Who was it? It was actually Amy Beth that was going to watch the Dale Big Tree.
Oh, yes, the Dale Big Tree. Thank you. You know what? Chris has a meeting tonight. I will be watching Dale Big Tree.
On the text line was asking about that.
The inconvenient study.
Truth.
Inconvenient.
You can't handle the truth.
That was
Speaking
Al
of you
Gore.
cannot handle the truth. Stephen from Athens. Athens,
Alabama.
Sorry I did that because I was going to tell you happy birthday. It's Stephen's birthday. It's also the 250th birthday of the United States Marine Corps.
Hoorah.
Hoorah. So actually, my husband's grandparents were both drill instructors at Paris Island, and they met there.
Somehow that makes perfect sense.
If you know my husband, it makes sense. But they got married in the little chapel on Paris Island. And
really?
Yeah, his grandmother was quite the drill instructor in life.
My
even
dad
in her old age
broke both of his knees. He was at Paris Island, but he couldn't continue because he broke both of his knees.
Well, what did they do with him
Marine
after?
For a while. He was not able to because he broke both of his knees. Really?
Then what happens? Like,
then he went to.
Could he walk after?
He could walk. It wasn't comfortable.
Okay.
Bless his heart. But he was a Marine. If you know how when they sing the song, they identify with which branch of the military you are. Marines.
Like when they do their.
Yeah. You know, when they play the song, the armed services song, which I love. Hey, can we play that tomorrow?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I want to play that song tomorrow. Okay.
By the way, we got a caller that just called in.
Oh, we do?
Greg Phillips just called in.
You guys.
Stop it.
Everybody. I'm sorry. It has been a hot minute since we and Greg have shared a microphone together. You may or may not have seen the movie 2000 Mules. You may or may not know his name. If you don't, why not? Because he knows a lot of things. We call him one of the most interesting men in the universe.
Because there's no telling where he is today.
We don't know where he is, but get used to his voice and his wisdom. Ladies and gentlemen, our good friend, and now yours, the Greg Phillips. Greg?
Y'all have gone way over the top on this introduction here. I have no way to live up to this.
It's not true. It's not true. You are literally the most interesting man in the world. Someday our listeners will get to know all of your stories. And it's like you listen to him and you're like, there's no way that's true. And then he's like, let me show you this picture.
I was
and
hiking
true.
blah, blah, blah. You're like, really?
And I was with so-and-so. And you're like, well, my life is lame.
Yeah.
Greg.
It's funny, we were talking about this the other day, and we made. I was going to respond to somebody on social media about something in 2022, and then as I started thinking about it, I'm like, okay, well, I need to add this thing that happened just before this, and these 42 things that happened just after that, and I got into this thing. I made this giant list, and it was so stupid and so ridiculous because nobody's going to believe this. So I ended up cutting down to like 8 things and just posted it anyway. So, okay, so we went to jail. We did this. We did that. The FBI threatened life in prison. I mean, you can't even make all the stuff up that happened to us. And it was just a fraction of it. I mean, we could have taken any one of those little elements, the go to jail one, and like write a book about it. But again, nobody would believe it. So why bother? Anyway, thanks for having me on the call.
How many people besides you and maybe, P. Diddy can say Trump got me out of jail?
That's right. He did. We had been in there for a few days. We first were put into both put into solitary. My partner Catherine and I, and she had the far worse of it than I did, by the way. But we had strip searches. I got thrown into ADSEG, administrative segregation, which is just unbelievable. With just sleeping on a concrete slab, and not that I slept, and the guys in. Let me put it this way. Prison after dark and prison's bad. Prison after dark is really bad. And these guys talk to each other from cell block to cell block through the pipes. And so, I mean, there's death threats and all this other stuff, just ringing through the cells in the middle of the night, all through the night. And it's just complete and total chaos, absolute chaos. But the greatest thing about it was, a few days into that, not the greatest thing, one of the good things about it was we get called. Catherine and I hadn't seen each other since we got checked into jail, or checked into this. It was an ICE prison is what it was. So just to be clear here, this wasn't a jail. This was an ICE prison. And we'd been in there for a few days, and by now everybody's screaming about it and calling Trump and calling everybody else. Well, Trump, unbeknownst to us, of course, because we're in prison, somehow tracks down the warden and calls the warden. Catherine and I get called into the warden's office. We weren't allowed to look at each other. We had to sit at either end of the room, and we were kind of just, okay, don't send hand signals or whatever to her. But what are you talking about? So we go in, and the warden's like, well, listen, my wife is a big Trump fan. And so when President Trump, and this is all unbeknownst to us, when President Trump called me, I was very surprised, but he wanted me to do a wellness check on you, and he wanted me to see if I could let you guys go and this and that and the other. And so we sat there and listened to this thing for a while. And then basically they sent us back to our cells. The greatest thing in the world that happened, though, during that call or during that visit was that they opened up our commissary. And so for those of you that had never been in prison, first of all, don't ever go. And if you do, get that before you go.
JP, are you listening? You can't eat.
The food is awful. You cannot eat. You cannot eat the food. So, but the greatest thing that happened in that little short meeting in the warden's office was they allowed us to fill out our little commissary list of things that we could use our $10 to buy. And so I was like buying peanut butter and crackers, and I can't even remember what all I got. Catherine got her little things, and so by about the fourth day we were able to actually eat again, because again the food was not edible. Then it gets on your list. If you don't eat, it gets on your list. It gets on somebody's list to come check on you every 5 minutes. So you'll be sound asleep, 4 o'clock in the morning, and every 15 minutes they're going to come by and do a wellness check on you.
Wait, why? To make sure you didn't die of starvation?
Yeah. So the wellness check is this: they come by and bang on the cell door as hard as they can, look in the little slot, and if you move, they assume you're okay, and they go on to the next. So
it's like being in the hospital,
or a parent.
It's so ridiculous. What else happened? And then Trump got the U.S. Marshal from the Southern District of Texas, a guy that he had appointed that Biden hadn't gotten rid of yet, and got him to come by and do a wellness check on us. So in succeeding days that happened, and then a state rep named Steve Toth, who's actually running against what's the Navy SEAL congressman that with the iPad?
Dan Crenshaw.
Dan Crenshaw. So Steve Toth is running against Dan Crenshaw this year. So if y'all know anybody in the kind of the northern swath of Houston, running up toward like Montgomery County, up by the airport, and swinging down toward kind of Katy, that's Crenshaw's district, and Toth is running against him. But Toth came to see us multiple times when we were in there. He's the only elected official that did. Now, it happened to be in his district, but that's a whole other topic. And it was we were so grateful that he came in to visit with us. And on one of the last days, the U.S. Court of Appeal, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, had decided they were going to release us with a very curt, very short, release them immediately, or something like that. It's very, very curt. He followed it up with basically the court did. Basically, the judge ended up having to recuse himself. There was all kinds of things. But Toth comes in there, and it is a massive thunderstorm. And I'm not talking about a little thunderstorm. I'm talking about like a Texas thunderstorm. This thing was huge. It was pouring rain. It was whatever. And And he came in just to tell us that he had brought a bunch of people from church and a bunch of people from his community to support us. And they were outside. And as he was walking out in this storm, he's walking out. When they opened the door to let him out, we were still in kind of the holding area, so we could kind of hear. But you could hear these people outside in this thunderstorm. I've got a video of this somewhere, singing and praying in the thunderstorm for us. And it was, of all the things that happened to us, I mean, to me, it was one of the most, other than the whole Trump, the Warden thing, it was one of the most memorable things of all, because, I mean, Catherine and I, we never talked about it while we were in there. We've talked about it since, that you sort of had this feeling that, you know, if nobody pays attention to this, we could be in here forever, because we weren't being charged with anything. There was no, I mean, the judge basically just threw us in there with no authority, no nothing. And they didn't really even register us appropriately and properly in the prison.
Wow.
Well, Greg, we've got to go to a break.
Gone and stayed there forever.
We have to go to a break, but I think that's a perfect segue into on the other side. If you can stick around, we'll have about 10 minutes on the other side to talk about January 6th. And I would love for you to give us kind of a rundown of what happened over the weekend, what you think is going to happen from here. I mean, talk about being locked up in prison for no reason. But if you can stick around, we'd love to have you on the other side. Are you good with that?
Absolutely.
Okay. You're listening to Rightside Radio. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. On the phone is a dear friend who is going to enlighten us. Allison?
Yeah, I first need to know, Greg, was that your favorite song in high school?
Does he have a song?
Man, I'm old. I'm older than you guys, so my stuff, my songs in high school, because I was rebelling against disco. And so my favorite songs
You weren't a Saturday Night Fever kind of guy?
do I seem that way to you?
No.
I do
I'll
see you in
answer
the
that.
leisure suit, like the bell bottoms, tight pants. That's you, Greg, for sure.
Oh man.
Oh, I was not that guy. I can't really think of exactly the guy that I was, but I was way more, maybe the guy stealing a case of Falstaff beer from his parents' neighbor's backyard and going and getting in fights and drinking too much beer.
It sounds
Driving
like
down
Montgomery to me.
Spooky roads in Prattville, maybe with Tumpka.
Yeah.
All those, the Prattville ghost.
Yeah, someday we'll do ghost stories with Greg Phillips.
I have the greatest story about the Prattville ghost ever that I want to come talk to you about.
Okay,
All right,
you're going to have
next
to be in
time.
person for that one because it's good and it's weird, and I bet we'll get lots of calls about it. But
Real
okay,
weird. Okay, look, we have 5 minutes.
before we lose you, tell us what's going on with January 6th. And then we'll, at the very end, will you say, I told y'all so. Told you. Why did nobody listen to me? What's the latest?
Well, a bunch of things, of course. There's all the stuff about this former security or Capitol Police person, this lady out walking around and planting these pipe bombs and the like the night before. And we happen to have a little bit of information on this, not because we were looking at J6, but there was something that happened on January 5th that we were looking at. There was a person of interest in the state of Georgia that had taken a trip to DC the night before the 4th, so the day of the 3rd, and went into a building within a couple of blocks of the path that the pipe bomber took, and stayed there for a couple of days. Ended up going up to a seedy hotel in just over the border in Maryland. Went to a paid by the hour hotel, and we tracked this person for a while, and really we didn't have the person really walking in the exact area, but in the general area. So it was a little bit harder because there's some blockers that keep you from doing geospatial tracking and analysis in DC in particular. But we had enough that we knew that this person had kind of been around that. But again, we were looking at the person for a completely different thing. Now that I've said that, this story was first reported on. I talked to Catherine about this earlier, and she said that the story was first reported on by Wendy Mahoney back a number of years ago, and there was a few other reporters. So when this was actually released, and it kind of came out this weekend who this person was, et cetera, it threw up a bunch of red flags to me personally, just because I knew a little bit about what was going on from the geospatial perspective because of the other analysis. Wendy is a friend, and Wendy's saying they didn't do this on their own. They kind of came up with this just out of the blue here. And then finally, Catherine shared with me that our friend Ed Martin, who is now working at DOJ, who was very involved in the J6 stuff before as a private attorney, and even so much so that on our website, open.ink, you can go on there, look on collections, and look for the Mr. Coffee and the Gallows. That's Ed's voiceover on the videos. We built the video and Ed did the voiceover on it, but Ed was very, very, very knowledgeable and very involved. So when this came out this weekend, Ed came out right away, as I understand it, and said, look, I know everybody's saying this has been confirmed, but there is no confirmation that has been made by anyone in an official capacity that this particular individual is the pipe bomber. And I know there's a lot of circumstantial evidence and a lot of things out there, but this is a very difficult investigation for lots of reasons. Data's stale. Lots of things are happening out there that that have happened over the year. They've covered a lot of things up. If it was a law enforcement person or an FBI person, it's hard to believe that they actually would have had their phone and that they would have come from Georgia or really anywhere else. And it just doesn't work that way in the real world. They know who and what can track them, so they're not likely to be trackable.
Oh, you can't hear us.
You're listening to Rightside Radio. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. Allison, did you know we're doing a show?
No, hold on. Your microphone's bothering me.
I know. Look,
hold it
I
right
can't-
there. Hold it. I'm going to tighten it.
All right. Well, I'm telling you, I got problems, Bob.
Okay.
This is my microphone.
Oh, you're really loose on the left.
Okay. Now we're good. See, it still wants to twist. Anywho,
It's this.
JP.
You got to reposition your tripod there.
Dang it. All right. Whatever. Whatever.
Your,
All right.
your tripod management needs to improve.
Can you work on that, Abs?
Well,
You
yeah,
need
I'm
to
working.
Step up your game.
Get some drills or something. Tripod.
Can
drills.
we
I'll
like
help you
tape
with-
it down?
No, you're good now. You're good.
Am I good now?
Yeah.
just glue
Look,
it to the
see?
table?
Every time this goes,
Well, you need to pull it in
I
front
have a
of
wonky cord, guys, on a microphone that I love. I don't know what her name is. Betty, maybe?
Black Betty.
Yeah. It's Black Betty.
I like that song.
And
That's a good song.
it's
a
a
good song.
great song. All right. So the government, as in all good stories, we will finish where we started. Although don't forget, we obviously have your text and we have the exit question of the day in the last segment. For now, we have the news on and we are watching. Allison can't see.
The big light is in the way. So y'all keep looking like
We're like,
oh my gosh,
hey.
I can't believe that's happening. I can't see.
Well, also Allison has to turn to her right where Amy Beth is kind of right in front of her. So
Positioned like a champ.
maybe we need to move one TV there and then have Chris come back and put it.
No,
right there.
no, he's probably
Camels.
listening going, absolutely not.
Wife wants to deprogram herself.
Okay, so actually, this is a great question. Number one, what do you think is going to happen with the whole shutdown or not? And then number two, it's actually kind of finishing where we started because it's a continuation of the white man's going to die out, is the nonsense that comes out of people's mouths. And we're not saying it can't come out of Republicans' mouths, okay? But the other big story over the weekend was Jimmy Kimmel's wife was like, I had to cut off my Republican family because they voted for Trump. This idea, not only that we want people to die out, but that you also just cut people off who have different opinions than you do. Is that going to continue? So there's two questions. Sort of, kind of, not really alike, but it doesn't matter. I'm asking the questions.
What was the first one?
Shutdown, yes or no? Is
Oh.
it going to be done or is it going to continue?
It's going to be done. And nothing's going to change. We're going to be back here in January. Nobody's getting arrested. We're not going to have any more people off of SNAP. I don't know what's going to happen with Obamacare, but we've got so many other issues. And now, and JP, I know you want to talk about this, the 50-year mortgage. Like Trump is,
Oh, heavens.
he for such a smart man,
That's dumb.
I'm just not sure that's a good idea. I don't know if we have time to dig into that today.
No,
but
and
it's
yeah, I mean that's a rabbit trail I could go on and on about. Yeah, I don't like it either.
so shutdown. The
government will reopen. I don't know when they're voting on it, but whenever they vote on it, I know they broke closure today. So whenever they vote on it, I mean, the government will reopen. But so this is going to go until the end of January. My concern is Republicans always being squishy is that it's going to be a midterm year and Republicans are going to be in a mode of, like they always do, giving Democrats leverage when they don't. The Democrats shouldn't have leverage. And I don't know if we'll be back in this same spot and then the Democrats will try to shut down the government again over nonsense like Obamacare or whatever. And the Republicans are going to make concessions that they don't need to because they don't want to shut down the government because it may look bad on the Republicans in the midterms. That is my concern. I don't know necessarily if that's going to happen. I don't know. Knowing the AOC and Bernie Sanders, their mindset, which this whole shutdown was manufactured by AOC, I think
keep talking, but I do have a question.
I think that she'll just go back. I bet AOC is fuming right now that the government reopened, and then that she's just gonna tell Chuck Schumer because he's her puppet to just shut it down again. As my concern.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Miss Allison.
Thank you. I have a question. And this is kind of showing how my brain works in 2025. But do y'all think, stick with me,
Okay. All right. I'm taking notes.
that they're actually all working together? And it's like, hey, you look like the loser this week. Then we'll take the hit next week. and then you take the hit the next week. Like it's this whole big
manufactured,
because that's all this is.
DC is just theater.
But we're going to let the Democrats do this so the Republicans, it can look like we can't do anything. And it'll give us an excuse to actually not do anything because we're really rhinos and we really hate President Trump. But if the Democrats do this, okay, we'll work with you. Then we don't have to pass the Trump agenda. And then the Republicans act all big and bad. And the Democrats are like, they won't let us do anything.
So are you saying in the top secret, nobody can even go in this dining room section of the Senate dining room with their phone?
Mm-hmm.
Are they all in there laughing at us?
I think where John Tester went to that back room, and then they shut the door. I have no idea, but I feel like that's where it all goes down. And they all get back there and they're like, all right, look, on November 10th, we're going to say it's done. But then on the 11th, look, you take this and run with it. And then that way we can say I feel like everybody's working together and we're all just a bunch of idiots and they laugh at us.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you because I think when Hillary, do you remember all the Hillary stuff came out all those years ago? I mean, this was back when Rush was on the air and it was Hillary. And I don't even know what she was making up that time, but you just knew. You're like, she is making this up and they're all going to go along with it.
Well, it's like in our montage,
every time.
In our montage clip.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all heard Tim Kaine say, I don't know. I don't even really know why we were so staunch. I was clueless as to why they wanted the shutdown so much because I was really focused on the elections in my home state. That's what makes me go, they all get like some secret Morse code text that's in invisible ink that says, just say no. We're not going to tell you why. And they're all like, okay.
Was it Rush Limbaugh's quote that said, DC is Hollywood for ugly people?
Yes.
Could be the case.
Could we bring that back?
Yeah.
Could we put that on and then just put at the end RL?
It's
so
true.
Everybody knows he said it.
It's true. I think that's the case with McConnell and who's another one? Murkowski, who's a Republican, but it's really not a Republican. Susan Collins. Like the rhinos, I think I think that's the case. I wouldn't even consider Mitch McConnell a conservative. I think they, work with the other side way, way, way too much. And there's a lot of, there's a lot of cooperation there. But I think for the most part, like you said, with Tim Kaine, who didn't even know, he seemed clueless. I think, the Tim Kaines, the Elizabeth Warrens, the Cory Bookers, I think they get their marching orders from the top of the Democratic Party and they're just told what to do and then they just do it. And they're just, yes, sir, General AOC or Schumer or Jeffries or whoever. I mean, you could say the same on the right, but the right is not nearly as just fall in line, unified like the left is. So I think there's a little bit of theater with like the rhinos and the Democrats, but mostly I think people on the left just take their marching orders and do what they're told.
Yeah. The comfort and the power.
Yeah.
Is too delightful.
That's why they get so mad whenever Tim Kaine and a couple of others vote to reopen the government because we didn't tell you to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
So
we weren't back from vacation yet.
You're a traitor.
Yeah.
And I know 100%, 100,000 gazillion%, maybe a bazillion that this is how Montgomery works. I've watched it every session.
It might be worse.
Every session. Okay. Hey, you know what? Ledbetter. This is the Senate talking. Ledbetter, come on. Okay, this session, the Senate's going to pass this obscenity bill, and we're going to get all the people to love us for protecting the children. But y'all are going to kill it this year, and then next year, the House is going to pass the obscenity bill, and then we'll kill it in the Senate, and y'all get credit for it.
She's telling the truth, but y'all probably already knew
every time. Oh, I mean, we were going to pass it out of committee, and we had it, but we just ran out of time. The session was just over. Sine die. I mean, it's a bunch of baloney. I know for a fact they do that down there. And then you throw in, we got to pass 10 bills for the Democrats because we got to be fair.
It is nonsensical. Really.
Susical, the musical.
Exactly.
Sensical,
that's what it is.
All the things. But
yeah,
I always wonder in these moments where it does feel very theater planned, scheduled, everything. I don't know. It
But-
just feels
You
icky.
ever watch the video of like C-SPAN will have on the Senate floor when they're doing like big time votes,
Mhm.
and then you'll see like Elizabeth Warren sitting there talking with Ted Cruz and like this other
Yeah.
person.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, but then they'll go to the the new like Fox News or
Mhm.
CNN after, and then say that person's a fascist or a a Nazi or whatever, and then they're going to the Senate floor. Hey, how are you? How's the family? How's everybody
Because they just
doing?"
came back from a dinner
Mhm.
and they're a little warm, lit on the inside,
Yeah.
and they're all happy. Exactly.
Mhm.
Just watch C-SPAN to know this is the theater of the absurd.
The theater of the ugly people.
The theater, apparently, of the ugly people
Yeah.
that love their power, they love their propers, and they hate us.
Now I'm trying to picture everybody. Are they really ugly?
No,
It's just
they dress well.
But they're not Hollywood.
they're not.
They're
you
not
know,
It's
Hollywood.
just what Rush used to say, and it was very funny.
They're
Yeah.
not like the Channing Tatum or like the attractive Hollywood people. So they go into politics, and that's where they get their attention. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I get it. But then I was trying to think like, wait, are they really ugly?
I mean, no, there's some super hot people there.
Is this another question we're gonna have? Who's the
Who's the
hottest?
hottest senator?
Well, we'll probably perhaps not do that tomorrow
100%
on our Veterans
Katie
Day
Britt.
show.
100% Katie Britt.
Yeah.
She's
Then there's
a
that
cutie.
beautiful babe who's from Michigan, Lisa. She stands behind Johnson or beside Johnson all the time.
Lisa?
Lisa, do you know Lisa?
I don't know Lisa.
She's pretty.
The blonde?
No, she's. I'll show you Lisa. She's real cute.
You don't know her last name?
No, because she's from Michigan. Why would I know her last name?
You're a Yankee.
I just look. I was born in Pennsylvania, guys, but I moved here as an infant.
Lisa.
Lisa from Michigan.
Oh.
She's cute.
Is she a senator?
She is right by Johnson when he's rattling off all the absurd
She's in the
things that were,
House.
the demands.
Anna
I
Paulina
demand
Luna's
it.
cute.
I demand these things put.
I think she used to be an
I
escort.
think that Rush would
you're right.
suggest
No,
that
I'm
some of these
serious.
babes are hot.
A high-end one, though.
Because that makes it better.
I've actually met her.
You
She's
talking about
very nice.
Lisa McLean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's cute.
How do you know her? I don't even know her.
I just looked her
Because
up.
I looked her up one day because I was like, who is that lady
Lisa
standing
McLean.
next to Mike Johnson? All right, look, while we go find these things out, we're going to suss it out. We'll be back for the exit question of the day.
Based. Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I think you just turned up my headphones. I can hear myself again. Thank
Me?
you.
I
Thank
just
you.
turned up your headphones.
Well,
Or
either
did
that or
did your foot?
maybe
turn
my
up the
foot
headphones?
hit the thing. Either way, I can hear. So today has flown by. I think it was a great show. I don't really know, but when things fly by, that means it's fun and it's good. And I hope we all learned something along the way. Are we going to do
exit
questions?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of
Exit
fun
question
before we go.
of the day. Tomorrow, a veteran show sprinkled with really good stories and perhaps some stories we didn't get to today. You don't know. You got to tune in to find out. Okay. All right. I don't even know where to start with this. All right. What's the highest grossing Christmas film ever? Raise your hand.
Die Hard.
Oh.
Wait, I cheated.
You did cheat. JP.
Oh, I know it.
Home Alone.
Allison.
Oh, see. Okay, is it in terms of like 1950 or do they
It just says
do they
highest grossing
do they
Christmas
convert the dollars to today's dollars?
highest grossing Christmas film ever?
It's a Wonderful Life. The Christmas Story.
The Grinch.
Ah. I didn't know to go that route or
Okay.
I was going to say the
All
Elf.
right.
The Elf. It's not the Elf. It's just
Sorry.
Elf.
Elf. You know what
Okay.
Do you go to the Walmart
I mean. The Walmart.
and the internet?
Okay. Do y'all know movies? Are y'all movie people?
Not really.
Maybe you can get this one because it's a basic of this movie franchise.
Based.
What is the
Word of the day.
lowest grossing movie of the Star Wars franchise? It's not what you think, but it's pretty
Revenge of the Sith.
basic. Oh, I didn't expect ever to have those words come out of your mouth.
I don't even know if that's actually a movie.
It is.
It is?
Is it the one that came out in 2016? I don't know the name.
You're going to be surprised by this. The Empire Strikes Back.
I'm not a Star Wars guy.
Yes. I know.
There's
I
no
know.
way. We must have been in like a depression.
What were the first words ever spoken by Mickey Mouse?
Hi, y'all.
That was pretty good, Allison.
Penny.
I'm going to give a hint. It's a food word.
Cheese?
Hot dogs.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
I thought that was Goofy that said that.
hot dog.
It
hot
says
dog.
Mickey. All right. Men in the audience, please know this answer, but I have a feeling Allison's going to know. What classic movie? Everybody has seen this movie, so don't be mad at me when I say the year.
Top Gun.
What classic movie from 1976 was filmed in only 28 days?
Friday.
1976. It's a one-word movie. Every man on the planet has seen this movie. Maybe not everybody, but
Ben-Hur.
come on. It was filmed in my home state. The
Groundhog
state where I
Day.
was born. Alabama's my home state.
Pennsylvania.
What movie was what iconic film?
Rocky.
Thank you. I knew she was going to get that
okay.
right.
Oh,
These are
this-
good questions.
yeah.
All right. If you know the answer to this, I'm going to be upset. What 2023 summer blockbuster featured the tagline, "She's everything, he's just Ken"?
Barbie.
Yeah. That was kind of obvious. I did not see Barbie. I went to Oppenheimer, obviously.
Those were your choices.
Remember they came out the same summer?
The Barbie. Okay, that Barbie. That's a good discussion. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Because I'm not a Barbie girl. I'm not a pink. I'm not a girly girl. But I actually, and I thought it had a good message. I didn't see the hate men message because she actually chooses to live in the real world, which isn't Barbie world.
Oh, no, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
All right. We've got 3 quick questions. What was the first TV show Selena Gomez appeared in?
Oh, was this a Waverly Place?
Nope. Before that.
Oh,
Parents with people that are still in high school, they'll know this answer. It's basic. It's a big dinosaur show. I hated it when my kids watched it. Yes, she was in Barney.
I didn't know that.
I didn't watch it. I tried to not have that show on. It was horrific. Do you know who Jason Bateman is?
Yeah, Batman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ozark.
What was his first TV show? This will also be a surprise.
Silver Spoon.
It's a great show.
I have no idea.
Growing Pains.
Y'all! Little House on the
Cheers.
Prairie.
Oh, I bet he was a cute little boy in the fields.
I bet he
Just
was.
running down that hill with the girls.
Probably.
Hey, tomorrow, can we have Veterans Day trivia?
Yes,
like
let's have
or
Veterans Day
America trivia.
And we need
I will smoke y'all
the songs.
in American trivia.
Yeah, I will lose.
And the song,
I grew
like
up in the
good
Union.
military songs. Yeah.
I think it's good. Yeah.
Okay.
we
And a
can do
good montage, even though it's also Veterans Day.
it. Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Are we doing something different for Stan McDonald by the news tomorrow?
It's up to y'all.
Patriotic version.
Okay. Patriotic version. You're listening to Rightside Radio. We'll see you in 21 hours. Until then, be good.
Deuces.